Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Watch My Pipe. My name's Kurt. Thanks for tuning in. It's Saturday, June 6, 2021, and we are going to be completing the full review for part two of the Sutliff Crumble Cake series. And this week I was smoking the Virginia Perique mixture. But before we get into everything, I'm going to start off with the watch wrist check. And I'm wearing my Rolex Submariner Pepsi that I did this past Wednesday on the Wednesday watch review. So, Crumble Cake. It was an interesting vapor, to say the least. It was something that it took me most of the week to realize that at least this tin, and I'm not sure if this is going to be the same for every single batch that comes out, but I felt that towards the end of the week here, I felt that this was definitely too moist to just dive right in and smoke right away. So halfway through the week, I started laying out the tobacco, letting it dry for 30, 45 minutes at a time, and it got better. But I really believe that this is something that's going to do much better with age. So I'll get into all the details very shortly here. So let's just run down all the logistics, I guess, if you will. So it's Crumble Cake. It's the vapor mixture made by Sutliff. And again, it's got Virginia and Perique. The age of this tin is unknown, but I just purchased this not even a week ago, maybe a week and a half. But I had to pull some of the information off of the website because the tin itself, the store that I bought it from had put their label over the top of the back of all the listings. So I'm only going off the website, which I assume is correct. And the contents is Virginia, Perique, and Black Cavendish. It says that there is no flavoring. And I'm going to take a big swing at this, at least what my taste buds are tasting, but I feel, and we already know that all tobaccos have some type of flavoring to them. But I'll get to it more in the ratings here and explain, where my thoughts are, but I felt that there's something there. The cut itself is a cake, and you actually get two of them. And I still have the one here, and I was able to squeak this out. I got enough here to do one more smoke here. But I wanted to age this cake for a little bit of time. You'll see here when I get to the ratings that I really think that if I let this sit for, gosh, I don't even know how long, I think this is going to mature a little bit better. The flavors are going to meld a little bit better. But again, we're going to get to this a little bit more in the ratings themselves. So, where can you buy this blend? Pretty much everywhere. Anywhere I looked, it had this in stock. As of the recording, I just double checked it again just so I didn't get tripped up here, and every single place had it available. So let's just dive right into it, starting with, again, as always, smokingpipes.com. Has it in stock for $11.70. Cup of Joe's comes in 10 cents cheaper at $11.60. And tobaccopipes.com comes in at $11.65. So those three are right in the runnings there within 5-10 cents of each other. The two bargains, if you will, come from Four Noggins, and they are coming in almost a full dollar cheaper at $10.69. And then the clear winner, again, one of my favorites, my always go-tos for any types of blend if I'm looking for something, Watch City Cigar, comes in on top again at $10.65. So during the week, full disclosure, I had some dental work done A while back, before Christmas, I was in an accident, broke a tooth. So after 6 long months, I finally got my implant in. So I'm very happy about that. And um, unfortunately, while they were doing X-rays, the assistant jammed the I don't even know what it's called, but the piece that actually takes the X-ray, I guess you will, that captures the picture, sends it back to the computer. When she was putting it on my mouth, she was kind of jamming it in there and scraped my mouth up pretty good. So my mouth was sore there for about 2 days, and you wouldn't realize it, but that sucking motion, even off of a pipe, irritated it like you wouldn't believe. So for about 2 days there, I did smoke it that night and it irritated me. And then the next day I was like, I just can't do it. So I didn't use as many pipes as I would have liked. Again, it also kind of worked out in my favor because I wanted to keep one of the cakes intact and let this sit for some time and then maybe hit it in like 3 to 6 months and then another 3 to 6 months. So I wanted to see how this blend evolves here because I want to say it's a pretty fresh tin because A, it was still very moist, and B, it still tasted like some of the flavors didn't have a chance to really start to meld yet. So let's just jump into the pipes that I did use, starting back on the first impressions last weekend, which started off with the Castello Sea Rock slash Castello Pie bent billiard, and then the Castello Gnarly Sea Rock Poker, Falcon Meerschaum Hyperbole Rusticated, AKB Meerschaum Smooth Poker, Radice Rind Twisted Shape 55, and then the Castello Pipe of the Year Trademark Poker, and then finally what I'm going to actually smoke it in today, which is this 1920s era Calabash. So I picked this up a couple weeks ago and haven't smoked it yet. So I'm kind of excited to give this a shot. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous gourd with a very, very nice looking mirror cap for being basically 100 years old. This thing looks pretty damn good. So I'm excited to give that a try. So I have everything here ready to go. So I'm going to load a pipe and I will catch you out in the studio. All right, so we are out in the studio and I didn't think this quite through all the way when I started putting everything out here because it is hot, sunny, muggy, and even at quarter to 8 p.m. as I'm recording this, I think it's still like 97 degrees outside. So may have to rethink the summer months here as we do more of these. May have to set up something downstairs, but we shall see. So we are all good to go here. Got my Sir Jacobo tamper here. Get this ready to go. And we got the Calabash all filled up here. And we're ready to light here. But before we do, real quick, you'll probably hear some birds and some noise in the background. I had to open everything up here to get some fresh air through here. So I'll try to block out as much as I can there. But it's the best we got with 100-degree weather right now. So, all right. So before we get into this, again, the presentation is classic. I love the cresting on the tin. I love the font. The overall two cakes, I never measured them up, but I'm assuming they're 1.5 ounces, but it does look like a classic old crumble cake. The tin moisture, again, is, I mean, borderline damp sponge. It was pretty moist when I got it. I'm not sure if that's like all the others that you might receive. Could just have been my tin. I don't know. But the tin note itself was probably the best way I could describe it is a tangy sourdough bread. It has that classic um, vapor smell, if you will, but there was just that apple cider vinegar that really, really, really made a presence not just in the tin note, but also in the smoke as well. So let's get this started. Let me light this up here. Shouldn't take too long here, so hang tight. Still, even having this out and open, I crumbled most of it up and would a lot of it sit so it would dry out a little bit. Even for this, I let it sit out a little bit, but still has a good bit of that vinegary taste, if you will. And that Perique is definitely, definitely playing a major part. This is not a mild vapor mixture. If you're not ready for it the first time you try this, it will get you pretty good. All right, I think we got this going here, so let's get back to the rest of the notes here. So in smoking this, pardon as I sweat profusely here, the top half of the bowl, after the sweet, tangy spiciness wears off a little bit, it turns more into a apple tart, if you will. And that spice really sticks around with the retrohale. The bottom half of the bowl, however, and again, I'm basing this just on this tin, similar to the golden mixture I did last week. I want to come back to this in a couple months and see how it is. Because as you get further down the bowl, it starts really getting rough around the edges there. So I'm gonna let that sit out, or I guess sit and marinate for a couple months, and you're gonna come back to it. But overall strength, I gave a medium, flavor medium, and then the taste, I gave a medium full. It's a little bit more bold than your regular vapor, so it's definitely something I probably wouldn't recommend if you wanted to first make your, or I should say, make your first venture into a vapor blend. I probably wouldn't recommend this one first. But again, I'm not sure how much of this tin that I received is playing a part. So the overall nicotine, I felt, was very mild. Didn't really get much kick out of this whatsoever. The overall mechanics were pretty subtle and consistent throughout the entire bowl, except, like I said, when you got a little bit more halfway through, it started getting a little rough around the edges and started to get a little bit harsh. But again, it probably has to do with the moisture and also the cadence. This blend has a very, very higher tendency, for me it seemed, to burn warmer and even borderline hot, depending on the bowl that I used, which is why I started going a little bit to smaller bowls, and even further down bigger bowls, it just wasn't enjoyable at all. The overall cadence, I tried playing around with a little bit, and again, like with any blend, as long as you're sipping on it, you're going to do well. I do tend to puff a little bit faster and harder, and this is a blend that's not going to help you out if you do that. It will turn on you, and the ash itself also, I couldn't think of a better adjective than to call it, is heavy or thick, because I needed to give it some air as it got halfway and further down the bowl. So I found myself constantly picking at it and digging it up and dumping some of the top ash out. And even some of that top ash seemed, like I said, it seemed heavy and thick. So everyone's mileage varies. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if you've experienced any of that. Because like I said, maybe it's just this tin. It can happen. Like I said, with the golden mixture, that was a very, very, very bone dry, tobacco when I first open it. So it could just be a bad blend. Who knows? But like I said, love to hear your comments. The overall room note, though, was quite pleasant. But in our household, um, tobacco smell is not a bad thing, I guess you could say. But it's something that I don't think many people will mind too much, if you will. It's not like a lot of Kia blend where you're probably going to offend somebody. With this, it's got some sharp notes to it, but overall, I think it'll do pretty well. But overall, that's my ratings for Sutliff Vapor Blend. Let's head back inside here and we'll finish up the review after I towel myself off here. Okay, so there you have it. It is a blend that overall I want to say is very unique. Throughout the week, I tried to think of another blend that I've had, another vapor, or even in different comment sections online. It seemed like this blend in itself is very unique. There really isn't anything out there that this smokes like or tastes like, and I kind of agree. But in the ever-ending quest here for different blends that no one else has tried, this is yet another one that a lot of people had made comments that they haven't had an opportunity to try this one yet. So I do recommend that you go out and grab a tin, albeit if it is a little damp or if you do get that vinegar smell. And I want to say, and I honestly believe that it is an apple vinegar. There's just no other way to describe that tanginess and that vinegary flavor. So like I said, I think with some age, this is going to do pretty well. And overall, I gave it a 3 stars because of that. I do believe it could be 4. I really, really do. And as a tobacco, I did give it 4 stars because I think all the pieces are there. I just don't think this tin specifically really had everything all put together, and it didn't wow me as I expected. Yes, I liked it. It was a very enjoyable smoke. And again, like I said, I enjoyed smoking this in smaller bowls because once you got down halfway, it started getting a little rough around the edges there. So overall, like I said, I would have preferred if I tried, if I could go back and do this again, I wish I would have tried the Red Virginia first, because this is really the basis of what this Crumble Cake series has all revolved around, is their Red Virginia base, whether it's the English or even the vapor mixture. I'm not going to do the next one review, the first impressions, tomorrow. I'm going to give it a break to, kind of rest my tongue there, if you will. So what I am going to do is, again, try to continue the blends that people probably haven't tried yet. And this is a very new blend that was just released. So this is the Warped Sarto. So this is available still that I've seen, and want to give this a try. So this will be the first impressions for tomorrow. So I'm going to wrap it up for today. It's been a very, very long weekend. I'm sure, like many others, you've got a lot of graduation parties and a lot of fun stuff going on with families. So it's great to be out and be with your family in person now. So I hope all of you are enjoying that. Again, please stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Enjoy yourselves, but be smart. Thanks again, everyone. I'll see you later.